Happy Monday evening to all of the This Is Not Legal Advice family. I am bringing you this message late this evening because, well, we were making it happen this Monday. So hopefully it is not too late to reach you, or when you're listening to this, it makes sense for you. So what I'd like to do tonight is get started with some oracle cards to get a sense of what this week may have in store for you. This is from the Oracle of Ascendance. Really cool oracle deck that I just purchased, and I'd love to get a sense of what you have in store for this week. So let's go ahead and take a look. We'll get maybe, 3 cards to describe that. So Spirit, please go ahead and give us 3 cards for our viewers to describe what their Make It Happen Monday might have in store this week for them in career, in love, in family, and all the wonderful things that our lives are made of. Whoop, look at that. We got 1 card here. We got Element of Air. Let's see if we can get another one, and then we'll go from there. Whoop, there it is. It is Pisces, so hello to my Piscean friends. And of course, your element of air is going to be your Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we are entering soon Libra season. I'm not going to lie, I'm excited about it. That's my birthday. I myself am a Libra. Whoop, and there we go. We've got Jupiter. Oh, that's exciting. Powerful card, powerful card. So let's see what these say for us in the Oracle of Ascendance. All right, the element of air. It says, in Wicca, air is typically the first element addressed, beginning in the east. Its symbol is the sword, or athame. Its color is yellow, time of day is sunrise, season is spring, and it rules the zodiac signs of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, as I said. It governs the energies of the planets of Jupiter and Mercury. Air represents wisdom and compassion, but it also represents the higher realms of creative consciousness. When it appears in your cards, you are being asked to approach your situation from a place of wisdom and informed thought. Are you allowing yourself to simply jump into situations without thinking about them? Have you allowed yourself to make decisions too quickly? If so, be reminded that the energies of air can be accessed whenever needed and will help in making informed and wise decisions. So far we have some wisdom needed for this week, some careful, calculated decisions. We love that. Don't make any rash decisions here. Let's think about things carefully. Let's move on to Pisces. What does Pisces have to say for this week in our Make It Happen Monday? Let's see. Pisces, there we go, page 91. I always think about this thing where it's just like a astrological reading that would come on the radio sometimes when I was growing up. They would say, and Pisces, the sign of the fish. So sorry, but we got fish here and I can't help myself. Pisces, the symbol of Pisces is the fish. Its traditional dates are February 19th to March 20th, with the 13th zodiac incorporated. Its new dates are March 11th to April 18th. I know that's based on some new calculations that have been done, but I would still stand by the February 19th to March 20th dates. Pisces is the mutable water sign ruled by Neptune and representing fluctuation, depth, imagination, and reaction. All water signs have in common the need for security, more specifically, emotional security. When Pisces appears in your reading, you are being reminded to provide yourself with emotional nurturing. Have you neglected your emotional state lately? Take time to nourish your inner child and let it play. Refer to the Neptune/water cards for additional clarification and information. And let's go on to Jupiter, which of course looks like a number 4. So maybe the number 4 is significant to you. Let's see, Jupiter is page 61. Jupiter says, also known as the joy bringer, this planet is by far the largest in mass of the known planets. Jupiter, associated with Zeus, the Greek god of the heavens, grants joy as well as abundance in all aspects. The energy of this planet teaches benevolence, warmth, compassion, and expansion, primarily of thought and feelings. When it appears in your reading, you are asked to fill your life and your current situation with joy. We sometimes forget that stress and negative emotions can cause a variety of problems, from depression to issues of physical health. This card asks you to make the conscious effort to invite more joy into your life and spread it around you and throughout your world. Remember that this emotion is contagious in its nature and spreads quickly and easily. So taking these 3 cards together, it would indicate to me that we need to be very conscientious and aware of our decision-making process, that we need to not act rashly, but we also need to recognize the positive things in our life. And sometimes, even if we're not feeling positively, we can spread some of our positive energy to others. And, we're coming into the autumnal equinox today, and I think it's a great opportunity for a brand new season, for a brand new opportunity to sort of change our perspective on things. I love the picture in this Pisces card, this sign of the fish. The one is going up, one is coming down. It still speaks to me of balance and of perhaps changing our perspectives on things. So perhaps what you are viewing as a negative in your life right now, you might be able to see as a positive if it were to be used in a positive fashion. So again, in this Make It Happen Monday, I would suggest we take some patience, some consideration. We look at things in a positive manner, and we also incorporate our intuition and our positivity and look at things as they could be rather than as they are. So right now we've got a very positive outlook. Let's go ahead and see what the tarot holds. Now for this, I'm going to use the Baroque Tarot. Look at that, it's just gorgeous. I'm sorry, I love shiny, sparkly things. So I love the edging of this Baroque Tarot. And as I think it was Mel Brooks said, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. So we're not gonna fix it, but we are gonna get some clarity on what these cards here may mean in terms of practical reality on this Make It Happen Monday. And I appreciate you watching. Again, this is not legal advice, and we are here to talk about cards, talk about life, and by no means whatsoever give any manner of legal advice. So let's see, Spirit, with respect to the element of air and our thought process going into this week, what does our viewer need to know? What would be benefit from? Oh, there we go. We've got Judgment, which sounds very apropos. Oh, we got 3 here. We've got the Lovers. Oh my goodness. And we've got the 3 of Cups. This is really quite an interesting reading here. What it is telling us with Judgment is there's a sort of resurrection of things of the past. It could be concepts or ideas in our work life that we are willing to pursue now that perhaps we were not before. It is perhaps issues of love that we need to take a fresh eye to and think logically about. Does this relationship make sense? Are these things beneficial to me? Lots of thoughts here. We've also got, the Lovers, which, is that Gemini energy. So perhaps you're a Gemini, which, coincides with that element of air. Perhaps the person you're dealing with is Gemini. Perhaps either of you have Gemini in your charts here. But again, looking at this, we're looking at this week taking maybe more of a logical, rational, reasoned approach to the love events in our lives. we're looking, again, career, love, the future. And in our career, maybe it means, like I said, going back and looking at ideas that we gave up on and resurrecting them and reconsidering them. In the area of love, maybe this means taking more of a reasoned approach. Is our love life balanced? Is it something that, there's equal give and take? Is it something that makes sense for us with respect to the other elements that we have going on here? And then our Three of Cups speaks of celebration, speaks of reunion, speaks of, living our best lives with our friends. And so I very much think that the element of air is saying to us, let's balance these things. Let's balance our career aspects, our love aspects, the friends and family in our lives, and really enjoy the times that we have. Really revisit those things of the past, and take a good, cold, I hate to say it cold, but hard look at our love life. Is it allowing us to balance those things? Really just fantastic. Bottom of the deck, by the way, I haven't switched anything. We've got the Queen of Swords. This is typically a card that is representative of Libra energy. Once again, element of air, as are all swords. The Queen of Swords is somebody who, doesn't put up with it. She's speaking her truth. She's seeing the truth. She's ready for it. She's moving forward. And I think this card is telling us, take a deep look at these things and don't be afraid to speak your truth this week. What is it that you need? What is it that you really want in terms of career and love and friendships? And how can you best achieve those things? Thank you, Spirit. Let's talk about this Pisces card. What does Spirit have to say about this Pisces card? What does Spirit have to say about our Pisces card and our intuition? Thank you, Spirit. What does it have to say? Okay, we got one card here. We got Queen of Wands. Of course, your Queen of Wands, that is fire energy. So your Pisces, of course, is water energy, which is generally representative of love, intuition. Queen of Wands is fire, passion. It is your elements of Aries and Leo and Sagittarius. So perhaps those are significant to you. But if we look specifically at this Queen of Wands, she's got it all. She's looking straight ahead. She sees clearly. She is ready to go. But despite all of these things around her, her feminine energy represented by the sunflower, the animals and the fiery bluster behind her, she's still holding on to this passion. She's still very much a feminine and holding on to her interest in love, in relationships, in her passion, her joie de vivre. And I would suggest to you that, taken together with the Pisces sign up here, this might mean that, you're somebody who, you've got an intuitive feeling about what you need to do this week, what is right for you. But perhaps you're a little timid about taking that move. You don't know whether to go up or down. And this Queen of Wands is telling you, follow your passion. Don't be scared. You've got it in you. You're there for it. What else do we have to say, Spirit, about the Pisces? What else do we have to say about the Pisces energy, please, Spirit? Tell my viewer, what else do we have to say about this Pisces energy this week on our Make It Happen Monday? Thank you again for watching. I do hope you like and subscribe, as you will. Whatever floats your boat in a very Piscean way. Oh, you know what? Those fell on the floor. They clearly don't want to be here, and I'm not going to force them. And maybe that's symbolic, you don't want to force anybody in your life doesn't want to be there. We've got the Star card, number 17. Okay, maybe the number 17 is important to you, but we've got the Star card. I'm going to go ahead and cover that up right there. The Star card, she represents hope. This is Aquarius energy. Once again, we're talking about our air signs, but more generally refers to hope at large. Can you can you hold out hope? Can you look at things and really truly be able to kind of, with the water energy here pushing it aside, can we kind of hold on to that love energy, but also keep our eyes on the stars and our hope for greater things? Can we pour out our love here? Again, we've got pouring out on both sides of water. Can we hold on to that love and be able to give that love while also pragmatically look at what is it we really truly need in our hearts? What is it that we need here, in our careers, in our lives this week? What is there for us? What is it this card is encouraging us to do? Is it, let's hold out hope for the dreams we have, for our intuitive visions, for the positive future outcomes we have? What is this card telling you, viewer? And bottom of the deck, we have Eight of Pentacles. Now, our Eight of Pentacles, this is Earth energy, which is your Taurus and your Virgo, your Capricorn. This is an energy of building and working and focusing. Can we, use this energy this week to build toward a future, a positive outcome that perhaps we maybe can't see yet, but we're still, because this person, if you look at this person, they're not looking at the final result here. They're focused very intently on this particular pentacle. And we see a snail down here. That snail, take your time, focus, work on one thing at a time. So I think this is telling us, look, you may have this intuitive vision, you have the ability, you have the passion, there is hope. You can hold on to the dreams of love and so forth, but you have hope this week that if you put your work in, you focus on your job, you focus on the things that require energy, you can be successful. So I think that's very beautiful energy. Let's talk about Jupiter in this week's outcome. Let's talk about our Jupiter energy. See how that shines? That's so nice. We love that. We love a good shiny deck. Ooh. I do want to say I just saw sort of the Eight of Swords rear her head, and of course that's symbolic of being trapped in a prison of your own making. We've got here the Two of Pentacles, which is about balancing, and again your Eight of Pentacles. But the Two of Pentacles is about balancing different aspects of your life, which is very appropriate given our entry into Libra season. But let's talk about this Jupiter energy. What is this Jupiter energy about, Spirit? What is this Jupiter energy about? What is this Jupiter energy about? Jupiter, biggest planet, could have been a sun, but it got there too late. So many moons to balance. And of course, Jupiter, again, representing Zeus and his many girlfriends, wives, paramours. Do with that what you will. We have our Six of Wands. Our Six of Wands, is a victory card. It's a card that says we're coming in for something good here. We've achieved, we've done the thing. It's great, it's wonderful. We're being recognized for our achievements. I think this bodes very well in terms of this week. This might be a time when, this horse looks kind of humble to me. This person is prideful, but this horse is humble, saying almost a combination of, you're receiving accolades for your hard work, your diligence, your bravery in reaching for goals. But at the same time, you're humble and you're willing to continue on your path. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Emperor. Look at that. Just gorgeous. We've got our Emperor. Now, the Emperor, of course, is one of our major arcana, number 4, if that's important to you. And this is Aries energy. This is an individual who is coming into his own power. He knows what he's here for. He's here to do the thing, get the thing done, and he doesn't care how you feel about it. So this goes very hand in hand with that assurance that you would need. Again, Jupiter, I believe, is tied to the Emperor here. That's Emperor energy. is this: I'm getting it done. I'm handling my business. I don't need your input, which, you know, can be good and bad. I think it's sometimes good to get input from others, but also have that self-assurance. Underneath it, we have the King of Wands, which is sort of a precursor for the Emperor. This is somebody who is passionate, who is looking off to the future. You've got a griffin here. Perhaps the griffin is an important symbol to you, or the color green. This is an individual who is filled with passion, but not quite ready to move off of that. Whereas the Emperor is holding his staff firmly. He's ready to go. He looks almost like he's ready to leap off his throne and just do the thing. So you are getting to a place of victory this week, but, you know, that's going to be by stepping into your power, by ascending from that King of Wands. Maybe I can do the thing, to the Emperor. Yeah, I'm going to do the thing. I got this power. All right, let's see if we can get one or two more cards here from Tarot in terms of our week's energy. How is this week looking for my viewer? How is this week looking for our viewer? Oh, we've got Ace of Cups. And, you know, the Ace of Cups speaks to an outpouring of love and openness, a willingness to offer just truly an outpouring, as you can see, of love. This is our water energy. Water, of course, being your Piscean energy, your Cancerian energy, your Scorpion energy. These are all signs that are very intuitive and they're very emotional. And again, this kind of goes with our Pisces over here to say, look, follow your intuition. Let that intuition lead you to victory. Wonderful picture here. We've got, it looks like a W on that cup. Maybe the letter W is significant to you. Maybe you're taking the W in terms of taking the win here. But I think it reminds us, not only do we have victory in our business, as we talked about with our strict Emperor sort, but we also have it if we're willing to keep our hearts open and offer that love without fear. Underneath it, we've got the Hermit energy, number 9. This is Virgo energy. Again, this goes back to our Earth energy we talked about earlier. This is very stable energy. This is somebody who is deep in thought. This person is still grasping a wand of sorts, so still kind of holding on to that passion. Has the light in this particular deck. It looks almost like it was an anglerfish. That's one of those bottom sea dwellers that tricks others to come forward by putting the light there. That's what it makes me think of. So perhaps you are in retreat, you are in quiet mode, but you're also kind of using that quiet mode to draw others out, to draw them toward you, to say, hey, here's my light, come here. What are you really? Who are you really? Are you somebody here that is going to be worthy of my Ace of Cups love? Are you somebody I can see a victory with? What do we have going on underneath this? Look at that. We got Ace of Pentacles, another number 1. Pentacles, again, this is like I said, but this is Virgo energy, this Hermit. Ace of Pentacles, it's a earth energy, right? So again, back to your Taurus, your Virgo, your Capricorn. This is a consistent but slow offer of stability. Maybe you are somebody who is considering, hey, not only is my career life going well, but I'm willing to be bold in my love life. I'm willing to offer myself up. I'm willing to see, you know, if I make an offer with that Hermit energy, if I show my light, if I show who I am, will this person come forward? Will they accept an offer of love from me, even if it is small? Let's get one more on this Jupiter energy, please, Spirit. One more on our Jupiter energy, please. Jupiter, of course, largest of the planets in our solar system. Many, many moons. I'm sure somebody can tell me in the comments exactly how many moons. I can never remember, but there's a lot of them. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, we got 2 cards, of course. We've got, look at that, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. This is your Again, water energy, it's because it's a cups card. It is, you know, the exchanging of one for the other. This is symbolic to me. You know, you go from the Ace of Cups, the offering, to the accepting. If you're bold enough to come forward with your Ace of Cups truth about love, it looks like your partner or the person you're interested in with this week is willing to accept that. And we've got our lion here, Leo energy. If you happen to be a Leo, or somebody you're dealing with is a Leo, this person is saying, I'm offering you my Ace of Cups in boldness after consideration. Do you accept? You know, perhaps this is your week to accept that. Perhaps it is a chance to make a bold move in love and embrace that Jupiter energy. And at the bottom, the other card that fell out was the Sun. This is also, I believe it's Leo energy, this Sun. It's it's the happiest card in the deck, number, was it 19 here. It's normally represented by a baby and riding a horse or some nonsense. But in this card, you know, it's sunflowers, it's genuine happiness, it's some weird looking horse. You know, to me, it just says, this is the dawning of something gorgeous, something beautiful, if you're willing to allow it. And I think what we're looking at here, you know, it's kind of veered off into the arena of love versus career. But I think if we take our bold moves, we consider things across the board. We consider things in career, we consider things in love, we really put our minds into it, but also listen, you know, to our intuition. You know, with this Cups energy, with, you know, some of this Star and Queen of Wands energy, we listen, Wands and Pisces energy, Piscean energy, we listen to our intuition combined with our air energy. This is the intellect, this is the intuition. We combine those things and we form Voltron. But I'm just kidding. I hope you got a laugh out of that because I'm a big old dork. But if we can combine those things in strength, we can not only achieve career success, but if we're bold enough to approach that in love, we can offer our cup, we can receive that cup, and we can get to happiness. Bottom of the deck, you know, we've got Queen of Cups. This is more love energy. This is the person perhaps you're thinking of that is considering this offer of love, this Two of Cups offer of love. This individual is also questioning, you know, is this offer serious? Is this somebody who is actually doing this after consideration in combination with those things? You know, should I take those? I mean, I'm called to this particular color blue, which is very much like a peacock blue. Perhaps peacocks are significant to you. They screeched very loudly, by the way. But anyway, they're beautiful to look at, so we'll allow it. And underneath that, we have the Nine of Swords, more air energy. You know, this might be something that is keeping you up at night. You're having nightmares about it. You're thinking about it. You're overthinking about it. You know, what do I do? How do I say this? How do I approach my boss for the raise? How do I approach the person that I like, that I have a crush on, and tell them that I want to offer them this cup of love? What if they reject me? That's that Nine of Swords energy. And I think what Spirit is advising us is also listen to your intuition, not just our intellect, but our intuition as well. So in terms of love this week, or excuse me, love, I said love, maybe that means something, maybe love is foremost on your mind. Maybe that's what we're being guided to do here, is to look at not just the intellect, but the intuition. With that being said, I'm going to look at these guiding insights, which is part of our angel oracle cards. They're really, really pretty. I just love the cover of those. And we're going to ask, you know, what is the advice for my viewer in these aspects, in the intellect, the intuition, and the strength here? That's how I'm viewing it. Intellect, intuition, and strength this week. What is the advice? Spirit, what is the advice? What is the advice? How can we achieve these wonderful, beautiful things in the cards here? What can we do? Thank you once again for joining me, and this is not legal advice. I would so much appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. I do this because I love it, but it'd be also cool to know that other people are seeing it. So what is the advice here, Spirit? Spirit's like, I can't tell you what to do. You got to follow your heart. Sorry, being cheesy. All right, so we have heed knowing. Listen to your intuition. We were just talking about that. It is a direct line of communication with the divine. Trust guidance that comes from within and move towards your dreams, which I think is a nice offset for the element of air in this particular area. Area, got it. Sorry, my incense just set off my air purifier. I hope that's not too loud for you. All right, let's see, Spirit, what is the second piece of advice? What is the second piece of advice? We have release worry. Let go of any worries or fears that hold you back. Release them and trust that they will be taken care of. Embrace your freedom so your spirit can soar. And this is just so on point with what we've been discussing. You know, we've talked about being held back, you know, by sometimes overthinking things with that 9 of Swords we saw with the air energy. I'm an air sign, so I can't fault it. You know, love myself, love my air sign people, what. But, you know, sometimes that can lead to that overthinking and that ignoring of the intuition. And I think what this card is telling us here by Spirit is don't overthink it, let it go, and let it flow. Let it go and let it flow. I think that might be our theme for this week. Let it go, let it flow. All right, and one more, Spirit, please. Advice for the viewer with respect to Jupiter and our let it go, let it flow kind of week. Let it go, let it flow. I don't know why, that just made me think of Flow from Progressive. I'm not shilling for them. I just can't get the vision of Flow from Progressive out of my head. Which then, of course, makes me think of What's-His-Face from State Farm. And it just goes down a rabbit hole from there. But anyway, I digress. Spirit, one more piece of advice. Loving support. Know that you are surrounded by the loving presence of the angels. They are always by your side, supporting you and guiding you on your journey. So I think this is more of a card of just generalized encouragement as you face the challenge between the mind and the intuition and having the strength to act upon those things. It's just the concept of, hey, you know, is this the right decision? Is this something I can live with? How do my friends and family feel? But, you know, don't overthink it. I was going to pull some cards from this next deck, which is called the Believe in Your Own Magic deck. But before I could even talk about it, a card flipped out. And this is number 15, Garden. Something lovely will grow from this. So I'm going to go ahead and set that right, yeah, like so. Number 15, if I'm not mistaken, is the Devil energy, the obsession energy in the tarot. So perhaps it's telling you in a sense to let that obsession, although it's growing, let it go. But let's see what the book says about this, because it's a brand new deck. I'm super excited. I love the smell of a new deck in the morning or afternoon or whenever Amazon or whoever delivers it. It says, either we sit around and dwell on our pain or we learn how to grow something lovely out of it. Ready or not, it's time for the next chapter of your life. Do the thing you feel you most need to do in order to aid your healing, even if it feels selfish. Sometimes it needs to be a little selfish in order for it to work in the long run. Worry about focusing on you for now. I really feel like this drives home the message we've been talking about is, you know, you've got the sense of this balance of the mind and the intuition, and sometimes you can have like input from third parties, which can be good or bad. But really think about, what is it that you need? Do you need a flower? Maybe you need a sword to just vanquish your enemies. Perhaps you need, a comfy place in the garden to sit, or some sunscreen, or a barrette. Hard to say. But in this card, I think we're being called upon to say, you know, trust yourself. You know, to thine own self be true. Trust that. Let's get one more, please, Spirit, of this beautiful deck that I just got yesterday, and I have cleansed. What is this deck about? Don't you wonder kind of how that sword got there? I mean, Chicky Poo's just sitting by a tree. She's got a little flower that's somehow glowing, very Beauty and the Beast-ish. But she's just got this sword. Like, how did that sword get there? And why is she so cool about it? I don't know. Let's just think about that for a second, you know? Swords represent truth. They represent air. Is she just kind of ignoring the truth? Is she focusing on the potential? You know, that's what I'm seeing there is, you know, because again, the swords are your air energy and the energy of speaking the truth. But she's like, nah, I'm just gonna grow this weird little glowing flower out of my hands. And maybe that weird little glowing flower is a job opportunity or a love opportunity. I don't know. Take it as it resonates, you know? Maybe it makes sense to you, because it's certainly not making sense to me. I mean, this little flower, by the way, right here, let me just zoom in on this bad boy. This one right here, right chaw. It looks like the flower creature plant thing from Little Shop of Horrors. Maybe that means something to you. Was it Audrey 2, something like that? It's got that like "Feed me, Seymour" kind of look to it. I don't know. I don't like it. It's kind of weird, and actually it kind of freaks me out the more I look at it, but that's okay. All right, what do we have next? We have stars. You can manifest your every wish. And we got these two lovely ladies in a bedroom that apparently is adorned with nothing but books and plants and no ceiling. Obvious, you know, in my mind, that's a little weird, you know. I don't know who builds a house with, you know, no ceiling. So maybe, again, that's number 5, which is symbolic of change and growth. You know, I look at this and I think, first of all, it's a little weird. People might be looking at you and thinking, you know, what are you doing? What you're doing is just contrary to rational thought, and, you know, just doesn't make any sense over, you know, like, I'm not seeing it. But for you, you're looking at the stars, the star, you know, you're looking at the star. My God, we have it right here. You know, you may understand, like this girl over here, she understands that what her friend is talking about may be a little weird, but she's not judging. She's accepting, she's loving, she's here for it. And this girl, she's looking up at it like, you know what, I don't care that there's no ceiling. I mean, I'm gonna do the thing. And I think that's the energy for this week, you know? We talked about that. We're just gonna do the thing. And we're gonna do it educatedly, intellectually, on balance with our intuition. And we're gonna do it boldly by the energy of Jupiter. So I think this is really a great card to wrap us up, is looking at the stars, manifest your every wish. We've also got, like I said, we've got that our you know, autumnal equinox today, and the Jewish New Year. We've got a brand new start all around, no matter how you look at it. And I think it's a great opportunity to not only see the stars, but also, you know, trust in our view of them. Trust in what I assume is that North Star there. Take bold action. And I do want to see what the book says about this, and then I will let you get on with your day and your beautiful Tuesday here. But stars. It says you can manifest your every wish at the bottom. It's time for you to take your goals and turn them into your reality. Create that dream board. Wish on those shooting stars. Write in a daily manifestation journal. Cast a small or large spell. The universe is waiting to give you exactly what you deserve, which could be good or bad, by the way. That's just my offhanded comment. Given karma, you know. Given that it's best for everyone involved, keep in mind that you also need to believe that you deserve it. And I would encourage you, viewer, you deserve it. And that, you know, again, depending on how you've lived your life, me saying you deserve it could be a blessing or a curse. But just know that I believe when I say that it is a blessing, that I hope that from this message you can take something useful. I don't know why I want to say set it and forget it. I don't know why. I don't know, but maybe that weird little like infomercial from the 90s strikes a chord. But anyway, maybe you can take something useful from this, from, again, balancing your intellect, your intuition, acting with strength in both your career and your love, having faith that, it's all going to be okay. No matter what happens, it's all going to be okay because you've got great friends, family around you. You're going to make it, and you're going to be, and I just love this picture, you're going to be a queen. You're going to be epic. You don't care what other people think. You got this, no matter what happens. So, viewer, I encourage you this week, take the bold step, do the bold thing. I am proud of you, no matter what happens. Thank you for joining me again on This Is Not Legal Advice. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.